The man who plays Luke Skywalker and may be doing so again in the Mandalorian movie has gone full psycho. Today, folks, we'll tell you how low Mark Hamill can go and why he needs to get his head out of his derriere. It is fully in the dark side, and we'll show you why that makes a no good time for the Walt Disney Company. Hello folks, and welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we endeavor to explain entertainment, keep you ahead of the culture curve. We ourselves are jolly as ever, even when we cover news that is not. And it certainly is not, although it is hot, when we cover the latest political stuff that involves Mark Hamill. Now, we ourselves are not interested in being a political channel. We wish Mark would stop this. But when it comes to the idea that he may be doing such damage that he is actually destroying any goodwill that might remain for the Mandalorian movie, which we believe he will be starring in, well, that's entertainment news that must be covered. Is Mark Hamill sabotaging not only Star Wars, but the memory of Luke Skywalker? Is this his legacy? We'll bring the panel on. We'll talk about it right now. Hey, folks, here's the deal with Mark Hamill and why he is just not a great person. And then we'll hit Splash Mountain. It says, this is from NME.com by Elizabeth Aubrey. Trump supporters are laying into Mark Hamill about bandage post. The Star Wars actor has faced criticism for his comments about Trump online. So there is Mark Hamill. The reason this matters is because we believe that Mark Hamill is going to be in the Mandalorian movie. In fact, we believe that he has been on the production set. And we could be wrong, but we strongly believe that rumor, and we've been reporting on it. Of course, it is rumor and speculation, but we believe it. And the problem here is we also think Mark might be involved in some other Star Wars projects. And all of this gets very dicey when you consider where Star Wars is going to be. If they're going to try to save this in a post-Kathleen Kennedy era, and that era has to happen at some point in the future, so they've got to be planning for that. Mark Hamill could absolutely destroy that effort if he is so vicious and so vitriolic that people just can't stand him. He is now like that drunken uncle that comes to your Thanksgiving party and no one wants him there. He is that. Even the people on the far left are like, oh, please don't anymore, please. He just won't stop. Here's the latest. Some supporters of the former president are criticizing Mark Hamill online. I think it's far beyond that. I think NME is minimizing this. I think rational, kind, and good people are condemning what he's saying. Following a post from the Star Wars actor about the former president, there was a failed attempt to end his life. The man, you all know, did it. Killed someone else. Hamill made a comment about Trump's appearance in public yesterday. This would be yesterday, still July 15th. His first since the shooting. And it's the first time he's commented on his appearance. He's made other posts and deleted them, by the way, because he knows he goes too far. So in his better moments, he deletes the things that he says that are vitriolic and awful. Saying the bandage the former president was wearing on his ear was oversized. He also went on to claim that the bandage wasn't worn prior to the appearance. Hamill tweeted, first appearance of ludicrously oversized ear bandage apparently not needed prior to tonight. The response drew criticism online. One described it as an evil thing to say, while others criticized him for being sad. You can see more of the reaction to the post here. We're not going to go into that. I'll just show you. This is Mark Hamill. This is his comment. You'll see that Trump is wearing a particular bandage that has an appearance to it that I'm going to explain in a moment for those of you who might not understand it. Again, we're not here to be political. This is not a political comment. This is more of a medical topic. And I don't like being put in a position where we talk about medical issues, but we're here now because of Mark Hamill and because he's just vile.
So medical let me cover topic, this. My doctor gave me one of those and he said if I keep using it, the rash will go away.
Exactly. Well, it won't go away from Mark. But the first appearance of ludicrously oversized ear bandage, not needed prior to tonight. Let me explain this for folks, okay? So a bullet went through this man's ear, through the top. It was millimeters away from ending him, and he turned his head at like 1 second before, and that's the only reason he's alive, okay? Now, Mark wants to mock this bandage. Trump has been wearing a bandage. This new bandage looks different. Here is why I am told this bandage may be worn rather than, what would typically go over a chunk of your ear being missing. Trump is entering into the RNC convention. It is a large stadium, and it is filled with people, and there is loud music everywhere. Trump might not want to have his entire ear encased in bandaging and all of that wrap stuff, but at the same time, there may need to be some protection in terms of audio, because when you go into a concert area and the music is loud and the crowd is cheering, you're going to get that feeling that you've had when you're in front of speakers where your body reverberates. And that might actually be very painful if you've had a portion of your ear blown off.
Or if a bullet has grazed your ear, something traveling at that speed going past your ear, I'm going to say that might also affect your eardrum a little bit.
Exactly. And so this is a bandage that is designed, we believe, in order to protect his eardrum, as well as when you have that thumping and loud noise and all of that going in from a man's ear who had a bullet whiz by. And I'm sure that wasn't quiet. We don't know about any kind of internal ear injury, but it's not unlikely. And Mark Hamill is sitting here laughing about it. And so I don't want to go into the politics of it. I want to go here. Is this man damaging the opportunity, Mark Hamill that is he damaging the opportunity for Star Wars to have any kind of comeback if he's in it? In other words, are we going to get to the point where if Mark Hamill's in the Mandalorian movie, half the country's going to say, I will not go support this if he's playing Luke? You guys take it away.
Well, oh, absolutely. Absolutely. People are already so sick to death of him. He is so attached himself now with the Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he has made himself entirely political, and therefore he has become a political pawn. He is entirely attached to politics now. There's no going back from it.
Well, and look at what just happened with Kyle Gass and Jack Black, right? We've been talking about
how long until that happens to Mark, Tom?
Exactly. Like, this is what I'm saying. This is like almost unprecedented. I hate getting like this feeling of schadenfreude or whatever you want to call it, but like this whole idea that a lot of these people now that are being quote unquote canceled over their TDS is kind of
well, their TDS has rotted their souls. That's the problem.
Exactly.
Like, look, the dude had his ear blown off. His head was almost blown off by millimeters, and you're mocking him because he's wearing a protective bandage in a concert venue.
Right. Look, we all have that one friend who's a hypochondriac, right? Like they have everything, and everything is wrong with them all the time. And even those people, even though we know they're a hypochondriac and we know a lot of this stuff that there's like whatever, it's probably mostly in their head. We don't say it to their face or we don't say it out in front of people because we're not going to try and hurt their feelings. Or you never know. You don't want to be that one guy who says, "Oh, you're just full of it," and then find out, "Oh God, this guy had cancer." Shit. No. And then like you just pointed out, Pro, this dude literally had a bullet come less than an inch from taking out his brain and clipped
quarter inch
his ear.
Yep.
Like, I mean, he and Evander Holyfield now have a lot in common, right? So that's what.
And you don't have to be a Trump supporter. Yeah. You don't have to be a Republican. Just say, you know what? This guy had his ear blown off.
Right.
He wants to wear on it. Have at it, man. You've earned it.
Well, look, if there's anything in the world right now that has said, let's bring down the temperature a little bit, and I don't care what side you're on, right? And I know, like you guys said, you don't want to get too political on this, but that's the point. Like, this is one of those points where we just really all need to step back and take a look at the situation and what got us here. And what we see here, and going off of what Mark's saying and what happened with Tenacious TDS and all that kind of stuff, is like, you guys are not even, you can't even see the fact that you can't even see this person as a human being. The media, the press, these celebrities have dehumanized Trump for so long. They can't even see him at a moment where we came, like you just said, less than a half an inch from Civil War and possibly World War III. They can't even get over their own TDS for 2 seconds to realize maybe I should stop and bring the temperature down a little bit, because maybe I did play into this a little bit. But oh no, the press, the media, these people like Mark and all them, they're turning around, they're trying to turn it around on Trump and all his supporters. It's like, now wait a minute here. Let's have the shoe on a reverse. Gall darn well. And we've seen the result of what happens on the other side of certain things. And I don't even have to get deep into that. Can you imagine had somebody taken a pot shot at Biden?
Oh, no.
No. Yeah. Let's not even go there, right? So that being said, I'm going to bring the temperature down on this conversation a little bit and say, yes, Mark is on that line. He's teetering to the point where if he does not stop, or if a lot of these celebrities do not stop what has happened to Tenacious TDS, is going to happen to them too, because you have a lot of people who, even though they may be left or what have you, they are still going to go say, wait a minute, I'll time out. We're talking about a life here, a human life here. And you're treating it like
and somebody was murdered.
And somebody was killed.
Died.
Exactly. Somebody died. A father, a brother, a son.
Yeah. Is Mark gonna mock the funeral next? Is that where we're going? The problem here, and Ron, I want to get you in on this. What I would say about it is, Mark reminds me of the worst relationships. In the worst relationships, you'll find neither side can de-escalate. So when you get an argument, both sides will go to whatever level and never stop. And so it just escalates to the highest point, right? And that's a terrible situation to be in. And many folks out there in the audience have experienced individuals who there's no limit to where they will go to win in a personal conflict, argument, debate, whatever. That's Mark. That's Mark Hamill. There's no, you could have World War III and Mark Hamill will sit there and talk about, the horrible people that he disagrees with, instead of saying, hey, why don't we stop all this and actually be for each other? He is the anti-Luke Skywalker. He's the worst person possible to represent that character. And that's why Disney may have to pull a Tenacious D or Tenacious TDS, as you said, situation here and say, you're out. Get rid of him out of The Mandalorian, bring in somebody else to play Luke Skywalker, strip his name out of the credits, because he's that vile. Ron?
I think it's time to bring in somebody else anyway, because there are so many other things that they can do with the characters of Luke, Han, and Leia if they want to, if they hire new actors to replace them. But I also wanted to talk about other celebrities that aren't making this mistake, ones that you would think might, like a Mark Ruffalo, for example, or
Tim Robbins.
Don Cheadle, Tim Robbins. I mean, a lot of celebrities are playing this really, really smart. They probably have very similar feelings, and they're not saying anything. And I think that's at least intelligent on their part, because, you look at, going back to the Gina Carano situation, she didn't say anything remotely this bad. She was just giving her own personal opinion on a taken perspective.
He wanted peace.
Very general, very peace. And this is so different than that. And this is directly attacking somebody that was himself attacked, and any of the repercussions from that attack. Like you said, at least one person died. I'm hearing that there may be more of that coming as the news continues to come out about this.
Well, let's pray that's not the case.
No, but I mean, nobody wants that. And again, if anybody, if something similar had happened to somebody on the other side, whether it was Joe or Kamal or whoever else, and this type of thing happened, I mean, there would be, hell to pay, so to speak.
Right. Well, this would have sent us to hell. That's what these nut jobs don't understand. Like, you think this was going to happen, and our world would not have went into complete catastrophe? Like, you think that's how the election would have been won by your side? No, we would be here today in hell. Like, our country and maybe the world would have been in hell today. You would have seen things that we have not seen since the 1800s. And so these kind of people are the kind of people who would have celebrated what happened to Mr. Lincoln. And it's vile, it's despicable, it's terrible. Enough of it.
Well, and I may be the differing opinion on this, but no, I don't think the same thing is going to happen to Mark that happened to Kyle and Jack.
Well, that's interesting, Tom, because 52% agree with you, 48% are saying otherwise.
And I'll tell you why they probably
very
will.
Contentious.
I think why they may be agreeing more so with me is because they know where he comes from and where he's working and who Disney is.
Yeah.
That's par for the course when it comes to that.
Well, the
Kyle
land of Joy
just got
Behar.
in. You got to stop and think. All Mark is doing is just screaming to the masses on X, right? He's just sitting there watching the phone, waiting for it to ring for Disney to say, we want you to come back as Luke. He's not doing anything else, right? Like, on the other side of this, Kyle just got an entire tour canceled, possibly Jack canceled. We don't even know. He might even cost Jack another job or something like that on the side that we don't even know about. And I mean, the way Jack has distanced himself now from this whole thing with, putting Tenacious D on complete. This is a big deal. Like, that's it. This could be the end of Tenacious D right now. And other people are talking about one of the main reasons that they probably did this is because all these venues probably canceled on them because of insurance reasons. And I don't know if you guys touched on that in any of the other times, but so This case, Mark is probably fine. In the public eye, though, not so much. He's losing the support of even some of those who normally wouldn't care about his TDS, I guess.
I think we were all hoping for a Luke Skywalker response. We were hoping for a guy to step up and be like,
for once in his life.
Yeah, like this is bad. Like, I don't agree with the man, politically, but I don't want to see the end of his life. No, instead we got the Joker popping up, being like, so he has 2 ears, doesn't he? Like it was ridiculous.
And folks, we have come to the end yet again. Another video of ultra high quality excellence. And it's because you shared your time with us. What an honor, what a pleasure to be in the presence of you and to get to spend time with you. You are so valuable, as is your time. Folks, you can help make this video valuable as well. Click the like button, share, subscribe. Click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts and weigh in whether or not you think this has any effect. Many, after watching The Acolyte, think Star Wars is so far gone that there is no future. But we will continue to cover this unraveling franchise. All right, folks, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and come join us for the 80K celebration this Thursday. Today, probably, if you're watching this video at the time of release, at 5 p.m. Eastern.